Next item.
Citizen participation. Citizens wishing to address the board on agenda and non-agenda items for action who are signed in by 7:10 p.m. by submitting a blue card to the board secretary may speak at this time. The board may not be in a position to respond to non-agenda items. Therefore, speakers should not anticipate immediate response to their comments or questions. For the benefit of all concerned, do not mention the names of students or school district employees. Please keep your comments as brief as possible. There is a 3-minute time limit on comments made to the board. We have one blue card. Ahmed Beydoun from Dearborn would like to come to speak to the board about cell phone ban in schools.
Good evening. Could I have more than 3 minutes? I will make it less than 4, please. It's very important topic
Continue, go
for
ahead.
everybody. My name is Dr. Ahmed Beydoun. I'm a local dentist. I've been practicing at the city of Dearborn for over 30 years. I have a sophomore student at Dearborn High School. I'm here in front of you to really address a very, very pandemic issue that's really across our nation, which is cell phone, as well as social media, and how it's really affecting our students, their performance. And we were talking to all these educators here about the accelerated program and all the other programs that are taking place. If you look at the, I'm sure Dr. Glenn Malaiko is aware of that. If you look at the research data that have been published throughout the years about the effect of cell phones as well as, well, I'm almost out of it, sorry, as far as the performance of students and how distraction it's really causing to the teachers. We were all talking about how we can really empower our teachers. I'm talking about their behalf as a community member. How can we really make them teach without distraction, and how cell phone in classrooms is really affecting those teachers and how they are trying to reach out to everybody in the class. I would hope, as you are celebrating the 80th anniversary of Dearborn Public Schools Charter, as what the gentleman mentioned before, let's make Dearborn Public School the leading in the state of Michigan of banning cell phone in public schools among students. I'm sure there has been a lot of discussion that have really taken places, and I'm sure there are some, each school has their own policies, but let's make this as a ban, and let's make Dearborn the leading in the state of Michigan of banning cell phone in schools. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Action items. Are there any agenda items on this agenda which board members or the superintendent wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we will exclude these from the motion below.
I have number 7. I'm kind of questioning as far as the amount and the number of CIS coordinators over the years since this has started way back in 2017. So I'd like this to be pulled if possible.
Number 7.
Yes, please.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Recommended action. Move that action items numbered 1 through 6, 8 through 16 be approved as recommended in this agenda with the exception of 7.
So move.
Support.
So you have a motion moved by Trustee D'Ambrosio, supported by Trustee Petchakov. Are there any questions or discussions on any of the action items? Are there any objections to the motion? Hearing none, please attach a unanimous vote in affirmative. Let's go back to, did you want to do a summary or go back to 7 first? Let's go back to 7.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want to read the motion?
Oh, I'm sorry. Recommended action. Move that the Board of Education make an award to communities and schools not to exceed $3,100,000.
So moved.
I'll support.
We have a motion by Trustee Thorpe, supported by Trustee Mosib. Your questions?
So as far as this contract goes, I understand, and by the way, I don't want this to be miscrutinized or taken the wrong way. I value what CIS is doing in our schools. I think they're doing a phenomenal job, and they're irreplaceable, definitely. But as of right now, we're paying $3.1 million for one school year. When we started this program, we were only paying $500,000. So was the contract initially that we were only going to pay for 25% and then 50%, as I read from the original contract, or that we're taking now the majority of the cost?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Mr. Saleh to come up. One of the things that is expand, Trustee Moses, and part of it has been grant fundings available to expand the program. So getting funding from the Balmer, and then also this 1.8 million approximately that the MDE was, Michigan Department of Ed was allowing districts to apply for this money on kind of a one-time basis, basically.
Yeah.
So we jumped at it.
And that's exactly why the number is really high. Back in March, April, there was a competitive grant by MDE, which we applied for. And we were very fortunate to where we were actually given $1.8 million. The grant had to be expended though by September 30th. So hence, you know, obviously there's a lot of things going on there. So that's why the number's so high. The other portions of it actually we're funding through our title funds. I will tell you this, the answer to your first question, yes, we've expanded greatly. We're in 22 schools now, and they do some remarkable work over there.
And Trustee Thorpe, I know, requested a presentation, so we're looking at next month possibly having them come before with the CIS as well, just to point out.
Okay, so how much of the 3.1 million is coming from our general funds, and how much is it from grants, do you know?
So the grant is worth about 1.8 million, which leaves about 1.2, 1.3 million. That's going to be probably mostly funded through our title funds.
And how much is CIS is covering, and how much are we covering, the percentage-wise?
So I think it varies from time to time. I will tell you that right before this grant came out, we were exploring some possible almost 100% match, whatever we would put up, CIS would put up. A lot of it comes through the Balmer Group, which I know some of you are familiar through our summer program and whatnot. I can get you that specific exact number for you if you would like, and we'll also discuss that next month at the presentation too.
And that's actually how we developed a relationship through Balmer, was not through the summer, it was actually CIS, which then led to the connection to actually apply for the summer funding.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Moses, did you want a roll call vote?
No, it's okay.
Are there any objections to the motion? Hearing none, please attach a unanimous vote in affirmative. Next item, please.
Summary of agenda action items. Number 1, approval of warrants. Number 2, approval of an award to N2Y. Number 3, approval of change orders. Number 4, approval of an award to Follett School Solutions, LLC. Number 5, approval of an award to West Ed. Number 6, approval of an award to Ventress Learning, LLC. Number 7, approval of an award to Communities and Schools, CIS. Number 8, approval of an award to Amy Marcos. Number 9, approval of an award to Fraza Forklift. Number 10 through 13, approval of non-instructional and instructional personnel items for P-12. Number 14, approval of financial statement. Number 15, approval of exempt salary schedules. And number 16, approval of donations. Next, discussion items. There are none. Next, Board of Education business, acknowledgment of correspondence.
Next item.
Board member committee and organization reports.
Trustee Petchkoff.
We had a building and site meeting today. Some of it was in updates of all the summer constructions that are either on time or delayed for a variety of reasons. Most of the ESSER funds, Hague, Howard, and Allen, with their heating and cooling HVAC systems are ready to be tested and brought online September 23rd. We are still having an issue at Long with DTE and getting that scheduled, but hopefully we'll be seeing some progress in finalizing their HVAC system within the next couple of weeks. We also had a lot of roofing projects and asphalt projects on repaving and a variety of buildings. So I'm not going to go through each and every one, but those have all been taken care of. Now, next thing is we're going to the energy bond, which is what we have with Train, and updating all of our lighting and all of those things. That program is going to be extended for a little bit because there were some state inspector issues that had to be resolved, so it kind of pushed back the project until we took care of those issues. And there is some credit for some money left over that we're going to be looking at what would be applicable to use this a little over $1 million that would still fall under the scope of the energy bond contract. Next, the one topic we've all been dreading is going to come up, and I'm going to have to ask you, President Barry, that we have another study session before our October meeting. We have to start having conversation again about infrastructure needs and potential bond options moving forward. But in order to do that, we also had a conversation where we left off last time, talking about our infrastructure needs of hiring a consulting firm to go out and talk with the community and try to get some understanding of what they would be willing to support. So right now, what we need to do is come together as a full board again, refresh our memories about where we left off with the fielding study and what we would like to see put into a proposal to hire a firm to go out and have conversation with the community. This isn't going to be a study session to talk about any plans that we want to do. This is more about who we need to hire to help us communicate effectively with the voters when we get ready to put forward a final plan with a bond proposal.
So you want the study session before next meeting?
Before the October 14th meeting,
Which
yeah.
is on the 14th, yeah. So are we okay?
And it wouldn't need
Can't
to
do
be a
the
really
7th.
long,
We have a committee meeting on the 7th, not the committee meeting, the bullying prevention. So do you want it like right before that meeting, or is it another? How long do you think?
I think we were hoping to have instructions or requirements to place in the RFP by October 11th.
Okay. Let me see. So I guess maybe the last week in September.
If we want to look at some dates and have
I was
something
gonna say,
sent out.
Yeah, why don't
we'll
we
get a
send
Google
out-
form and
yeah.
send out some dates, just so that,
That's
Joe,
unusual,
yeah.
right? Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Any other committee reports? Next item, please.
Board member and superintendent commentary.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Under committee, it's not really a committee, but since trustee McDonald's not here, Dr. Malik, has she reached out to you to start setting up that timeline?
Yeah, Joanne's working on getting us
I
in.
emailed her and she said when she comes back. So yes, we're.
Awesome, thank you very much. I'm sorry, continue.
Board member and superintendent commentary.
Trustee Thorpe.
I was going to mention that the Dearborn Education Foundation is going to be holding their annual golf outing on Monday, September 30th. I expect that all the information, if it's not on our district website, is on the dearbornedfoundation.org, I believe is the title. But reach out to people and you can get more information. Most of the funds on that will be filtering their way back into the classrooms rather quickly, as it has been in the past. Thanks.
Anybody else?
Just to mention, we have the date set up that we've always done when people are running for school board, and any board members are welcome to come as well. But we have two set up, and I know Joanne has emailed all the candidates, and we thank again all of them for putting in an application. The 25th of September at 10:30, we always do a morning one and then an evening, and we have on the 7th of October at 5 o'clock as well. session set up. So everyone's welcome to attend those board member, or I mean, for the candidates and then board members, if you want to attend, it's not open obviously to the public, so.
Okay, great. Thank you. Trustee Petrikov.
I recently was, along with trustee D'Ambrosio, invited to be a community participant at a strategic plan session for the fire department, who's putting together their own strategic plan. They just wanted to hear from community members. My relationship with the DFNA made me want to represent the neighborhoods, to just get some input. But while we were having the conversation, they talked about the difficulty of recruitment. It's one of their big problems and I've heard the similar concerns with the police department. And after I left the meeting, and they were talking about how do we educate our community members about this type of job opportunity, our career opportunity, because it's not necessarily something everybody aspires to right now, unfortunately. Just like with teacher recruitment, unfortunately, it doesn't attract a lot of people when you get a lot of negative publicity about it over time. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if there was, and this would have to be something we'd have to see what was available, during March's reading month, I thought if there was enough elementary level books that talk about career possibilities, one of which would be police or fire potentially, and we could have somebody from the police or fire department go in and read in the classroom level, that would help students explore those as an adventure of choice moving forward, that it might be a fun way to get more readers into the classroom of community members who we would like them to engage with, and an opportunity to help promote in a positive way those career opportunities that they might not have thought about exploring. And we could probably do a themed March's Reading Month with a variety of, if there are books at that level, that we could then engage other community members. We already know we got plenty of teachers who can read one about teaching, but a doctor, a dentist, a vet, those kinds of things, and invite them to read those books in the classroom for the students.
So you just want to spark an idea
Yeah.
in a young person's
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, so it's a great idea. And I know we have college nights. Do we have like career nights? Some of the schools.
We have, I know the high schools have like career fairs.
Maybe we can invite, the firefighters to set up a booth there.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Trustee Moses.
I just want to give a shout out to all of our cross guards who are doing a phenomenal job crossing our students, and especially elementary, specifically Sam at Gear Park, who crosses micro every day. So thank you to her and to her colleagues who are volunteering. And also, they do get paid by the police department. I know some schools, especially like Whitmer, now has a new intersection that needs a cross guard. So if there are anybody out there who's interested in doing it, they can definitely get in touch with the school and volunteer to be a cross guard.
Thank you. Anybody else? Next item, please.
Request for information and/or future agenda items.
Trustee Moses?
Yeah, we had earlier Dr. Baidoon address us on cell phone and cell phone ban in schools. And I do understand that our schools have strict policy as far as accessing cell phones in classrooms. But if we can get the full details as far as what each school is doing from the high school and middle school level.
I'm going to tell you what my position is on that, but I was out of town a couple weeks ago, and we walked in for this show, and they actually made me put my phone in a pouch, and they locked it and gave me the pouch back. And for 2 hours, I was like, hey, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Anybody else? Trustee Thorpe?
2 items, Dr. Maleko. One I had mentioned to you before. And years ago, open house would happen 3 or 4 weeks into the school year. We moved it to before school starts. We also switched it from being an evening event to a daytime event. And I can understand that's easier for employees, but it could be more difficult for parents. So I guess my question would be, what is the purpose of an open house? So talk about that with the administration and employees and just what is why do we do open house and why do we do it the way we do? The other one goes back to what I had asked Ms. Martin, is that now that we're 1 year in to early dismissal, do we have any concrete numbers or any way that we can see how is it going with student outcomes, educational outcomes for the students? And if we don't have anything yet, when could we expect to start to see some information on it? Thank you.
I guess a follow-up on open houses, what is the attendance like at the schools too, please? Anybody else? Next item, please.
Future meeting dates, Monday, September 16th, 2024, HFC Policy Committee meeting, 6 p.m. at the Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Cabinet Conference Room. Monday, September 16th, 2024, HFC Board of Trustees meeting, 7 p.m. at the Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Rosenau Boardroom. Monday, October 21st, 2024, P-12 Board of Education meeting, 7 p.m. at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom.
Thank you, and we are adjourned.